Okay. So, what I was asking you was something along the lines of, if God made you, well, if God made people in China, people in Russia, people in these different places, right? And it's not even about them being in China and all that yet. If God made a person, right? A plant, everything, right? Can you hear me? If God made all of those things, and God is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Which means, obviously, this is all just a
perception.
You know, just how I see it. You know, this is how I'm looking at it. It doesn't mean I'm right. Mm-hmm. But if God made everything, and He's perfect, or she's perfect, whatever you believe, you know, then how can something imperfect come from it? And if something imperfect can't come from it, then that means that all of His creation, which a lot of people believe, you know, God, you know, whatever they perceive to be God, basically is in charge of all of this, right? And a lot of them believe He made all of it, she made all of it, it made all of it, you know? So if God made me, and God made you, and I perceive something that you're doing to be wrong, right? Then that would mean that God had made another person, which is another creation, they both are creations of God, the wrong one, or you don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I get what you mean.
So why are you looking like that?
I'm thinking about the process.
If God made everything, then why do people like the people that run the earth and we accuse of, you know, doing heinous things, and, you know, the system is corrupt, right?
Yeah.
If God made them too, whatever they are, it don't matter if it don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it, he, she, if he, she, thee, her, them, I don't know, you know, they got, you know, right, whatever. If they made both, he, she, I don't care, you know, then how is who's doing something wrong and who's doing something right? Like, how do you determine what that is if everything is off of perspective? If I assume that what another person does is wrong, right? And I assume that I am right, you know, like, I just know for a fact, you know, people just like, I just know. Then wouldn't I be going against God's creation?
Technically, yeah.
But if I'm going against God's creation and God knows everything anyway, doesn't that mean He knew I was, he, she, thee, they, say, you know, doesn't that mean they know, He knows, she knows that I was going to do that?
Yeah. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't really understand. I don't understand.
Maybe it's supposed to, maybe that's just what it's supposed to be. Like, maybe they're supposed to be, like you said, everybody has a perception. Everybody's perception of a thing, like good and bad, is going to be different. And in that same way, we are going against each other because of our own perceptions. That's probably a part of the plan. That's like whatever plan or whatever, you know how they say, like, God already knew, like everything is already paid, like everything is already.
That this could be a bunch of rubbish. I understand that there may be a plan that my brain can't even perceive, right? But I also understand that I have to understand that. I also understand that it's me. You get what I'm saying? Like, that has to perceive that. So my understanding, and even in that understanding, could be wrong as an understanding. Right. So then, that's my point. I'm just simply going off of what I think right now, right? Just like you said, what you said.
Yeah.
But so it still doesn't really tell me, and not that I need to know, but how that makes sense, because that's what's happening. You got people deciding what's wrong. You got people deciding what's right. And then you got people that don't agree with those people. Which one of them is wrong? And then somebody's going to say, well, clearly this one is wrong because of what? Because
of their own perception.
Right. But although your perception is all you know nothing.
That is true.
We're constantly, as a species, as whatever you want to call us, right? Because even to call us a species came from someone else.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Everything is somewhere, somehow already, we are connected in a way that's very unusual. Like, we will, when we believe in something, that will become everything.
Yeah.
Just like when you get, you hurt a body part, you hurt your pinky. In that moment, that is the universe to you.
Right.
So we emphasize it greatly, right? Mm-hmm. So what would we emphasize? Because believing is like knowing, right? In a way, like you believe. It's not like knowing, but it's like...
It's there.
It's like what you think you know. That's believing. It's like faith.
Yeah.
So, but even, we are doing things to each other as if someone knows. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I wonder what the world looks like
without belief?
Without people just thinking they know. But even in that thought, right?
Yeah.
We are so consistently, right, trying to change our realities, right? Even though it's already changing, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying to change it, and we're trying to work it ourselves, and we're trying to be what? Like a god, right?
Right.
That's very interesting that we would even try to do that.
And when you say that, do you mean like the thought of control, like controlling our like control itself, right? Because like God has all control.
You see how you just said that? You don't know that?
I mean, that is what they say. You're right. They say that God is in control of this, and you're saying that we're trying to control our reality, and that is what is being compared to God, right? Like being God-like is to have that control. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
But what on this planet could you say needed to be changed and know for a fact?
I couldn't.
So you could also be doing it wrong the entire time, right?
Yes.
But you wouldn't know what wrong was if you, like... How would you ever know if you're doing it wrong or right?
I wouldn't. Or we wouldn't.
Exactly. So it's like, what's the point? Everything is a perception.
Right.
I don't care. People go like, back to ancestors. Mm-hmm. Back to this, back to that, back to that. You don't even agree with your own mom.
Yeah.
And she's right there.
Yeah, and that's always changing.
Because you think you know, that's the closest part of descendant you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Closest. I didn't say that the grandmother and great-grandmother weren't alive. That's your closest.
Yes.
To being connected to that, what they call a lineage. Right? And all of them, even all those families, didn't agree.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Which means it's all up to you. Not like you can go and make that tree disappear. I don't know. But at the same time, it's like, this is you. This is memory. Right?
Yeah.
Everything's memory. I think I'm having a memory of you having a memory in front of me. Like I think you exist. Low key. That's what I'm saying.
As far as memory being,
we don't even know what memory is. This is just gathered
information.
Gathered data.
See, when you said that, in my head, I thought of like, because existence, right? And you know how they say like, memory is the only reason why we even know of what we know of. So would memory itself be called existence?
Yes. To me, because this is what I'm saying though. You can't, how do we know you can take memory with you?
We don't know.
Exactly. We never even really, I haven't yet, at least, even heard of it. What's commonly known, at least in our section of the planet, see how much different something can be? This is commonly known to us.
Right.
And I ain't even gonna go on a sidetrack, but what's commonly known is you can't take anything with you.
Right.
Some people didn't believe that. Mm-hmm. Who's right? We don't know, but that's just a side note.
Hi, my name is Shama Takeste and this is my dad.
Joseph Takeste.
And this is my application for my software engineering scholarship. So one of the questions was who's my biggest inspiration. My dad here is my biggest inspiration. From the age of 2 years old, just after my dad escaped from prison for robbery and theft, my dad took me under his wing. He actually adopted me from another family, and I feel like despite the fact that I'm adopted, me and my father have always had a very close relationship. I think he always taught me from a young age that if I didn't have something, that there was always a way to go and get it. He pushed me, he motivated me, he made sure I was always driven. And as you can see by my many tennis achievements behind me, I was always successful because of my dad. I remember going to school without sometimes the correct uniform, pen, pencils and books, and my dad always taught me that if I didn't have it, that I could always steal it from other children. We remember going into the supermarkets when there was no food at home. Instead of scanning items of food, my dad would always put it in my school bag or put it in my pram as a young child. And from a young age, I always just knew from my dad that if it seemed as if there wasn't a way, that there was always a way. And my dad always made it possible that I would have the best life possible. And I think that with the money that I would receive from the scholarship, I would obviously put towards my education. Put it towards moving to a new apartment, hopefully closer to my university, but at the same time help my dad. In the past few years, my dad has been in and out of prison, and he's currently on probation and has a tag on his foot. And unfortunately, that doesn't allow him to travel closer to me for my university. So with that money, I would also help him better his life and also put it towards rehab, as he's been in and out recently for the past couple of months. I really hope that you consider my application. Thank you.
Why that much light? Why that much light?
For what?
Why?
Why?
How much is a unit?
The unit is 50 grand.
I'll pay for that.
But you don't have 50 grand.
Yeah, I know I don't have that. I'll take a loan.
You don't need to. I'm going to get the scholarship.
No, I'll sell. I'll sell whatever I have.
No, it's not that serious. I'm going to get the scholarship.
Do you know your profile is how much lie it is?
Okay, everyone lies. It's not that serious. You won't get in trouble for that.
If it was £1 million,
Money's money.
you'll kill me then. I'm scared.
No. It's just for the scholarship. It's fine.
Don't send it. The best thing.
It sends automatically after you finish it. It sends.
Then you're not going.
No, I am. I'm going to get the scholarship.
You're not going.
Yeah.
Keep that thing safe. You're not going.
So why would you take memory? When you leave your body, how do you know you'll know who God is? Because you're assuming that you're taking your memory. Mind you, while people are here on this dimension, we forget all the time.
Yeah.
I think.
And that's interesting because, like, as you get older, they have, like, these different diseases that mess with your memory. And it's just like, what if that's the point? What if as you get older, you're supposed to forget in order to be able to ascend to whatever?
Remember when I was like, when people get all sagging?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I said, that's them, that's their body. I mean, that's them, their spirit trying to leave the body. I was like, their body about to stay here. And they about to be up out of here. So it's almost like a force.
Yeah.
So everything drags down because they're getting ready, it's preparing you to leave.
That's interesting because when we was watching they could stay in their body, and his wife took all that stuff off, and then she was just gone.
Right. Yeah.
That is interesting.
See, people, that's what I'm saying. And all that could be wrong, right?
Yeah.
But as people, right? So many possibilities.
Yeah.
So many different ones. Tell me how you could be right for sure.
You couldn't.
There's not a person on the planet that could be right for sure.
Yeah, you couldn't.
I think because they don't think that. And that is their reality.
Right.
Which means it doesn't matter what I think in that moment. Because if they don't think it, then they don't think it. Anyway, this is another episode of NightsGotWeird. We thank you for going on this walk with us. I am your host, Energy E, and that was Brooklyn over yo. We really appreciate you tonight. You know, we're really loving it. Good energy. You go ahead and take that home, put it under your pillow.